Why Cody Rhodes and John Cena are ignoring The Rock, the best and worst of WWE Raw. A 27-year-old WWE star shows CM Punk the middle finger. The outrageous reason why WWE kept Drew McIntyre away from Glasgow Raw. Jey Uso's storyline was copied from an iconic movie. Jimmy Uso's slap on WWE Raw was real. Who is Paul Heyman leaving WrestleMania 41 with? Roman Reigns' WWE schedule disclosed. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE Raw. Last night's Raw from Glasgow brought two Intercontinental Championship battles to the table. Lyra Valkyria took on Raquel Rodriguez to defend her title, while Bron Breakker faced Penta in the main event for his gold. CM Punk dropped a bombshell, saying Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, absent from Glasgow, will join him for a contract signing on SmackDown. He also hinted Paul Heyman might not just be Roman's wise man anymore. With WrestleMania 41 less than a month away, some rivalries heated up while others stumbled. Here's the rundown of the best and worst from Raw. Number 1. Best. El Grande Americano's big WWE splash. Chad Gable's tangle with Rey Mysterio and the LWO has been so-so, but last night it delivered something juicy. Not everyone's sold on Gable's new gig, but he's showing he can roll with anything. A video earlier hyped El Grande Americano as the greatest luchador ever, blackballed and hidden away until now. Gable dodged a match with Dragon Lee, so Lee got the mysterious newbie instead. The ring lit up with slick lucha moves and raw power, with Gable maybe flipping between styles like it was nothing. His skills sold the character, and when he ripped off Lee's mask, a total luchador insult, he sealed the win. The crowd even started cheering a little. Number 2. Best and worst. Jimmy and Jey Uso team up again. Jey Uso handled Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in singles matches, then faced them in a tag bout with a mystery partner. No shock there, Jimmy Uso stepped up. The Usos snagged the win, keeping Waller and Theory in the mix. But then Gunther jumped Jey after the bell. Jimmy chased him off, yet Jey looked shaken. Jimmy told him he can't beat Gunther at WrestleMania without bringing back the old bloodline fire and main event Jey. The reunion rocked, but Jey's doubt left a sour note. Number 3. Best. Lyra outsmarts Judgment Day. Lyra Valkyria had her hands full defending her title against Raquel Rodriguez, with Judgment Day lurking. Liv Morgan meddled a couple times, propping up her tag partner. Lyra turned the tables fast, drop-kicking Morgan outside, then rolling up Rodriguez for the win. She's not the loudest or showiest, but her smarts shone through, outfoxing the heels. After, the women's tag champs jumped her, but Bayley bolted to the rescue, straight to the ring. No posing delays like Jey, Rhea, or Randy Pull lately. Solid save. Number 4. Worst. Women's title. Road gets tangled. The path to the women's world title at WrestleMania 41 is a jumbled mess, echoing Becky Lynch's wild ride to WrestleMania 35. If Sky had beaten Liv Morgan and won the Elimination Chamber, it'd be cleaner. Adam Pearce said he's been chasing Rhea Ripley for her rematch, but she's ghosting him, despite being on Raw together for 3 weeks. Rematches aren't even a sure thing anymore, yet Rhea's getting one. Bianca Belair should stick to her Jade Cargill and Naomi drama instead of winning the Chamber. Pearce set Rhea's rematch for next week with Bianca refereeing, which screams another sloppy twist headed for a triple threat. Number 5. Best and worst. Penta versus Bron teases greatness. Bron Breakker versus Penta for the IC title was hyped all weekend. 2 red-hot stars perfect for WrestleMania. Dominic Mysterio's pre-match chat with Penta guaranteed Judgment Day would medal. The clash was short but sweet, packed with brutal strikes and wild flips, hinting at what a full match could be. Then Judgment Day crashed it, forcing a DQ. Finn Balor led a beatdown on both guys, and Penta faked joining before bailing. Chair shots flew, and now it's clear WWE's steering this toward a big multi-man title fight. Number 6. Best. Cena's title rant steals the show. John Cena opened Raw in Glasgow, ripping into the fans for turning on him back in April 2005 when he debuted the spinner belt. He said they ditched him for making a title into a toy, when belts should mean respect and honor. Cena vowed to win the undisputed WWE title, retire with it, and ruin wrestling for fans and stars alike. Cody Rhodes hit the scene, warning Cena he won't go down easy. This title's his legacy. No fists yet, but their war of words is electric enough. A 27-year-old WWE star shows CM Punk the middle finger. On the latest Monday Night Raw from Glasgow, Scotland, CM Punk stepped into the spotlight to talk to the WWE Universe about his big WrestleMania 41 showdown with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. But the real fireworks popped off after the show went dark. Punk teamed up with Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio to take on Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Carlito in a match, just for the live crowd. Things got heated when 27-year-old Dominic, still steaming from the loss, chucked a Prime bottle at Punk and flipped him the middle finger. A fan caught it all on video, and Dominic doubled down by reposting it on his Instagram, Instagram with that same rude emoji aimed right at Punk. In the ring, the good guys came out on top. Judgment Day's Carlito took the brunt of it, eating a 619 from Ray, a GTS from Punk, and a Crossroads from Cody. After that triple dose of finishers, Punk sealed the win for his squad. Clearly, Dominic wasn't happy about it, and his post-match antics showed he's ready to keep this bad blood boiling. The outrageous reason why WWE kept Drew McIntyre away from Glasgow Raw. Monday Night Raw rolled into Glasgow, Scotland, with a jammed-packed show as part of WWE's European tour leading up to WrestleMania 41. But one big name was missing: Drew McIntyre, the hometown hero. Wrestling insider Vince Russo has a bold take. WWE kept the Scottish psychopath off the air because they were scared the crowd would cheer for him, even though he's playing the bad guy right now. Normally, with Mania season in full swing, WWE isn't too strict about keeping stars on their own brands. Drew's on SmackDown, but top players like him often jump shows. So why no Glasgow moment for him? Russo, a former WWE writer, spilled his thoughts on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw. He's convinced Drew's absence wasn't an accident. McIntyre's locked in a heated feud with Damian Priest, and with his mic skills, he could have easily turned the Scottish fans against him, or so Russo believes. Instead, WWE dodged the risk, worried the Glasgow faithful would shower their local star with love instead of booze. Russo didn't hold back, calling out WWE for missing a golden chance. He reckons Drew's one of the few who could flip a hometown crowd with a single promo, but the company didn't trust it. They let other rowdy chants slide, yet balked at putting Drew in front of his own people. As it stands, Drew's hell-bent on tormenting Priest, and their year-long saga's barreling toward a massive WrestleMania 41 clash. Glasgow might have missed out, but this story's far from over. Jey Uso's storyline was copied from an iconic movie. The World Heavyweight Championship feud heading into WrestleMania 41 took a big step on Raw, but Vince Russo's calling it out for borrowing from a classic flick. Jey Uso's rough patch kept rolling as he tripped up trying to spear Gunther after a tag team win alongside his brother Jimmy. After the match, a down-and-out Jey got a pep talk from Jimmy backstage. Jimmy fired him up, even smacking Gunther later, but Jey wasn't so sure. He flat out wondered if he could take down the champ. That underdog vibe rubbed Russo the wrong way. On Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, he pointed out how it's a dead ringer for a famous Rocky III moment, when Rocky spills his guts to Adrian on the beach, admitting he's terrified of Clubber Lang. Russo didn't mince words, saying WWE's been lifting that emotional beat for years. He figures Gunther's messing with Jey's head, but calling that the reason for his slip-ups feels forced. To him, it's just another lazy grab from Rocky III's playbook. Rocky's raw "I'm afraid" confession turned into Jey's doubt. Russo's counted at least 6 times WWE's recycled that scene, and this Jey-Jimmy moment is the latest proof. Next week on Raw, Jimmy's stepping up to face Gunther himself, tossing more fuel on this feud. With WrestleMania closing in fast, it's crunch time for something fresh to shake this storyline up. Jimmy Uso's slap on WWE Raw was real. Jimmy Uso crashed back onto Monday Night Raw this week, and his dad, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, couldn't hold back his pride. Jimmy teamed up with his twin Jey Uso, their first reunion since July 2023, to take down Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in a tag match. After the win, World Heavyweight Champion Gunther blindsided the Usos, picking a fight with his WrestleMania 41 rival. Jey went for a spear but stumbled, and Gunther pounced, until Jimmy grabbed a chair and chased him off. Later backstage, Jimmy pumped Jey up with a pep talk, then threw down a challenge to Gunther for next week. The real kicker? Jimmy hauled off and slapped Gunther across the face for laughing at Jey's trip-up. Rikishi jumped on X, posting a TikTok clip of that smack with a caption that said it all: "Now that's a slap Daru Big Jim." Gunther's been owning Jey for weeks, but Vince Russo's got a different take. On his The Brand podcast, the ex-WWE writer blasted WWE for dropping the ball on Gunther's build to WrestleMania. He says the ring general's been booked weak, more like a 25-75 split than a killer champ, making their big match feel flat. Still, Gunther's unbeaten on TV in 2025, and he's got his eyes on steamrolling Jimmy next week on Raw to keep the streak alive. That slap might have stung, but it's game on now. Who is Paul Heyman leaving WrestleMania 41 with? Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk are gearing up for an epic triple threat showdown at WrestleMania 41, and it's anyone's guess who will come out on top. All three are absolute beasts in the ring, but Paul Heyman could be the real game changer. WWE's been dropping hints that the wise man might stab someone in the back, and fans are buzzing with theories. The big question, who's he walking out of Las Vegas with? One hot idea is that Heyman ditches Reigns for Punk. The best in the world did the OG Bloodline a solid at Survivor Series, War Games 2024, and Heyman owes him a favor. On SmackDown, Punk's been poking at the cracks between Roman and Paul, smirking and stirring the pot. Reigns looked thrown off, maybe even doubting his loyal wise man. It's easy to see Heyman cashing in that favor by helping Punk snag the win, turning on the tribal chief and rekindling their old alliance. But Triple H doesn't always go for the obvious play. What if Heyman pulls a total shocker? Picture this. He screws over both Reigns and Punk, throwing his weight behind Seth Rollins instead. The Visionary could become the new Paul Heyman guy, walking away with the victory. Wrestling analyst Sam Roberts tossed this wild curveball on his Not Some Wrestling podcast, saying it's not his pick but definitely worth chewing over. He imagines Heyman starting in Punk's corner, making Reigns feel ditched, only to flip on Punk too, lifting Rollins to the top. Roberts admits it's a long shot, but in WWE's wild world, it's not impossible. Why Rollins? Heyman might feel like a tool for Reigns and Punk. Roman's doubting him, Punk's playing him. Seth's a fresh start, a chance to stick it to both and come out on top. That SmackDown brawl showed the tension. Punk's mind games, Reigns' confusion, Heyman caught in the middle. It's the perfect setup for the wise man to say, enough, and roll with Rollins. Right now, it's all just talk. No one knows for sure. Heyman's a master of chaos, and WrestleMania 41's shaping up to be his playground. Will he stick with Reigns, jump to Punk, or shock us all with Rollins? With the biggest show of the year looming, one thing's clear. Heyman's move could flip this whole match upside down. Keep your eyes peeled. Vegas is gonna be wild. Roman Reigns' WWE schedule disclosed. Roman Reigns is gearing up to clash with CM Punk and Seth Rollins in a huge triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. The original Tribal Chief stormed back at Madison Square Garden, tearing into the Visionary and the Second City Saint. Last week's SmackDown saw all three brawling like mad, lighting a fire under this epic three-way fight. On this week's Raw on Netflix, Punk cranked up the hype, tossing shade at Paul Heyman's loyalty to Reigns. So, when's the OTC popping up next in WWE? His schedule just spilled, and it's loaded. Reigns is locked in for the next SmackDown, plus the first SmackDown of April 2025. On top of that, he's slated for Raw on April 7th, 2025. For a guy who usually sticks to a part-time gig, 3 straight appearances is a big deal, and it's got the WWE Universe pumped. These shows could pile on some serious juice for the WrestleMania triple threat. It's anyone's guess how it'll all shake out as Reigns hits the road to Vegas, but one thing's for sure, he's got to watch his back, and it's all because of Paul Heyman. When Reigns smashed Rollins at MSG, Heyman was caught checking on Punk in the ring, proving those two still click. Then on SmackDown, Punk thanked Heyman for handing him Reigns on a silver platter, like they've got a secret deal cooking. This week on Raw, Punk doubled down, saying Heyman's not just Roman's wise man anymore. It's looking like the 59-year-old might be two-timing the OTC, maybe already siding with Punk. Reigns is a megastar, no doubt, but with Heyman's loyalty up in the air, he's walking a tightrope heading into WrestleMania 41. Why Cody Rhodes and John Cena are ignoring The Rock. Cody Rhodes and John Cena are acting like The Rock doesn't even exist in their promos, and an ex-WWE writer's got a wild guess why. Vince Russo laid it out on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge's Legion of Raw. He's not talking about the announcers or video clips sneaking The Rock's name in. He means the stars themselves, Cody and Cena, dodging it like a hot potato. Here's what he said. There's mention of him, The Rock. I'm talking about the players. I'm talking about Cena not mentioning him and Cody not mentioning him. I'm not talking about they're gonna play the packages, and the announcers may throw his name in there. I'm talking about the players in the storyline, not bringing his name up. It would be impossible to go an entire show without anybody ever bringing up his name. Then he added, but I'm telling you, bro, I think that's what's happening. He wasn't going to make any of these shows, so let them forget about him and then WrestleMania. Boom. Hit that music. The place will explode. You use that for the finish and you're off to the races. Russo's betting WWE's playing a long game. The Rock's been off TV, and keeping him out of Cody and Cena's chatter might make fans forget him a little. Then, at WrestleMania 41, his music hits, the roof blows off, and he's back to flip the night upside down. Cody hasn't faced the final boss in the ring since Elimination Chamber 2025, so who knows what he's plotting for the American Nightmare. One thing's clear, this silent treatment could be building to a moment that'll shake Vegas to its core.